For breakfast this week, I'm making high protein pumpkin overnight oats. I've been craving overnight oats, and so I'm going to bring fall and protein into them for the week. So let me show you what you'll need. Pecans are optional. It said you could do pecans, whipped cream. I'm gonna put a little bit of pecans on top. I like it for the healthy fat as well as the texture. Sugar-free maple syrup, low-fat milk, vanilla protein powder of your choice. Of course, I'm using Clean Simple Eats, Simply Vanilla. I do have a discount code for them. I will link it for you. Rolled oats, chia seeds, vanilla extract, pumpkin pie spice, and pumpkin puree. And then you'll need some type of container for your overnight oats. So to make our overnight oats, like I said, you're going to need a jar. I have these ones with the lids. They're perfect for overnight oats. So I'm going to add half of a cup of rolled oats to my jar, 3/4 of a cup of Fairlife. That's going to give me a good amount of protein. A couple tablespoons of pumpkin puree, 2 tablespoons of my Clean Simple Eats vanilla protein powder, 1 to 2 tablespoons of sugar-free syrup, 1 tablespoon of chia seeds, about a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and a teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice. And then all I do is pop my lid on and shake it up. Here is what they look like, and then when I go to eat them, that's when you'll add your pecans, whipped cream, whatever toppings you want on your rolled oat, on your overnight oats. I'll put these in the fridge, and then in about an hour, I'll give them one more shake. Let's make up 3 more jars so I have 4 for the week. So here are my overnight oats for the week. And like I said, I just plan on topping them with a little bit of chopped pecans, maybe a tablespoon, just for some crunch and some added fat. We've got some fiber in the chia seeds and the oats. This is a really well-rounded breakfast. So I'll go ahead and put all the information here on the screen for you. For my lunches this week, I am so excited for this. I'm making a turkey and apple panini. So this is my first time making paninis. I actually just bought this panini maker on Amazon. So I'll link it for you. It was really affordable, had really, really good reviews. So it'll be our first time using it. So let me show you what you'll need for turkey and apple paninis. You're going to need a bread of your choice. We currently have sourdough, butter or light butter, apple butter, turkey and cheese. It does recommend extra sharp cheddar, and then whatever turkey you would like, apples, and some fresh sage. So I have my 2 slices of bread. We're going to lightly butter one side. So not very much. We just want a little bit of butter to the edge of the piece of bread. So maybe a teaspoon per slice. And then we're going to place it butter side down on our clean working surface. And then we're going to put about a tablespoon of apple butter on each slice of bread. Spread that out nice and even. On one slice of bread, we're going to put our thinly sliced apple. And then the other side, we're going to put our sage leaves. And then we'll add our slice of extra sharp cheddar. And then our turkey. And we're going to open up our warmed panini press. We're going to place 1 slice of bread, butter side down, the other slice, butter side up, and close and press. I've been kind of pushing down to flatten it out like a panini, and it is ready, you guys. That looks amazing. Look at this. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me slice this in half. We're gonna repeat until we've made all of our sandwiches for the week. And then when you go to warm it up, you could throw it in the microwave, the air fryer. You could even put it back in your panini press. Look how amazing this looks. This is deli style, deli quality right here. Smells so good. You could pair this with some fruit, vegetables, whatever you would like. Let me go ahead and put all the information here on the screen with you, depending on the bread you use. If you use regular butter or light butter, and as well as the cheese, turkey, all of that's going to make a difference, but I'll put all the information for mine here on the screen. Keeping with all the fall vibes, I'm making pumpkin cream cheese bars for dessert for the week. So let me show you what you'll need. Vanilla extract, brown sugar or brown sugar substitute of your choice. I think I'm going to do half regular and half sucrin gold. Same with sugar or sugar substitute. This is allulose. So I'm gonna do half and half. I do buy both of these on Amazon. I will link them. All-purpose flour, quick cooking oats, a can of pumpkin pie spice, sweetened condensed milk, baking soda, 1 egg, cream cheese, salt, and some butter. So to get started, the first thing we're doing is making the crust. So I'm adding 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour to a bowl, and then I'm going to add 1.5 cups of rolled oats. These are quick cook oats. Again, we want 1.5 cups. And then a teaspoon of baking soda, and then half of a teaspoon of salt. And then we're just going to stir that together, just get everything mixed. To a large bowl, I added 13 tablespoons of butter or light butter at room temperature. We've got 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar, sucrin gold, and then 3/4 of a cup of regular sugar and allulose. Going to beat on medium for about a minute. We just want to get it nice and creamed together. Then we're going to gradually add in the dry ingredients. To save a little bit of the crumble. It didn't say that in the recipe until I read further down. So we do want to save a little bit because it's going to go on top. Yep, right here it says press half of the mixture evenly in the bottom and then reserve the remaining half for the topping. Okay, so I am going to add in the rest of the flour and oats, and then half of this completed mixture we'll save. A 9x13 baking dish, I'm going to add some parchment paper. We want a little bit hanging over the edge so it's easy to remove. And then we're going to put half of the crust mixture into our baking dish. And then we're going to spread that out and press that into place. And this is going to be the crust of our bars. We're putting this into a 350-degree oven for about 15 minutes. And then while the crust is baking, we'll make the filling. I added my 8 ounces of room temperature cream cheese to a bowl. I'm just going to beat this for about a minute until it's creamy. Then we're adding our can of sweetened condensed milk, egg yolk, not the white, just the yolk, pumpkin pie spice, and vanilla extract. And then we're going to just mix until combined. I just pulled the crust out of the oven. We're going to spread the cream cheese mixture right on top. And then we've got our can of pumpkin. We're just going to drop it on top. And then we're just going to take our spoon and kind of swirl in the pumpkin. And then we're adding the rest of the crust mixture right on top. Then it's going back into the 350-degree oven for about 23 minutes or until it is cooked through. I just pulled the pumpkin cream cheese bars out. Oh my goodness, do these smell amazing. You want to let them cool completely before you cut them into squares. It's going to be so good for dessert. I know one person, name starts with a T, ends with a Y, that's going to eat most of these because he loves him some cheesecake. He loves cheesecake. But this would be perfect for the upcoming Thanksgiving holiday, Friendsgivings. I'm so excited for this.